I like the COVID beard, by the way.
This is the COVID beard. I started and I was about where you are. I just had a little stubble, and I said, you know what, forget it. I'm sticking with this until I can't. So
The difference is, Jesse, I really can't get much more than this. This is about.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Vicarious Vision. I'm Melanie Santos-Stefano with Vicarious Multimedia, along with our amazing co-host, Eddie Polanzani. Today, we're going to be interviewing Jesse Desoto. He's a couple things. He is the owner of Astaire Dance Studios in Chicago, West Loop, and in downtown Long Grove. And he is also the president of the historic downtown Long Grove Business Association, the longest acronym known to man.
yeah, you got that right.
Welcome,
El Presidente. Hail to the chief, right?
Yeah, sure thing.
Jesse, thanks for joining us today. I know you're a busy guy. In fact, you're in the car right now because you're in between a bunch of different appointments. So we'll try to fire through these. Real quick to start off, why don't you tell us a little bit about the historic downtown Long Grove Business Association, also known as the HDLGBA, and what their mission is and how you came to be the president.
Sure. So the association, basically the mission with the association is creating a community environment where people can come together, have a safe and enjoyable experience in the downtown Long Grove. Trying to come up with something that everybody can come and enjoy in this place that's really kind of like going back in time when you come here. My brother and I had moved one of our businesses here in 2015, and that's when I became aware of the board. And I volunteered. I fell in love with this town. There's just something about it that is so homey and welcoming. I've had businesses in a lot of places, and I was more welcomed and knew more people in Long Grove in 6 months than I did in 12 years in other locations. So it was so warm and welcoming. I kind of started volunteering and helping with different events, and they needed someone to check IDs. So I check IDs, and the next thing you know, they said, hey, you're here all the time, why don't you join the board? I did that for a year, just serving as a seat on a chair on the board. And then this last February, they were looking for a new president to handle COVID. I'm just kidding. We didn't know COVID was coming, but it just so happened.
Or did you? Did you?
Yeah, exactly. Somebody might have known. And they said, hey, you should consider the president's seat. And so here we are.
It seems like it would be a lot of work within itself, almost like a full-time job. Yet you still manage, as Melanie pointed out, to successfully own and operate two Astaire Dance Studios. So how do you balance both of those responsibilities so well?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the support team I have. I've got, as I mentioned, my brother and I work close together, a lot of projects we do together. But I've always said it like this. I'm kind of a man of vision who is surrounded by very successful, strong women to get it done. I got a team of ladies there that are they're phenomenal. They're organized. They can take something that's kind of a neat concept and they can make it come to life. And I've got that in the dance business. I've got that in the visitor center, the association. So I'm pretty fortunate to have some good teammates to be able to rely on.
Can you tell us a little bit about some of the clientele at Astaire? Do you mostly give lessons to couples? Is it solo dancers? What are some of the most popular dances people learn?
So dance-wise, I mean, we teach just about any dance that you can think of doing. We could teach you that. With our schools, they're a little bit unique in that we're kind of a wellness center in disguise as a dance studio. Our programs are more catered towards things like stress relief. We're all dealing with more stress than we can handle, especially with the economic situations. People are under a lot of stress. So we kind of tailor our programs in a way to where they engage your mind enough that you forget about some of those other problems, that it keeps you focused and allows your mind to have a breath of fresh air, so to speak. Problems are still there when you leave, but you're a little more renewed to handle them. That's one example. Another one's like fitness. People use our programs it's a low impact exercise program. So whether somebody's just coming off of a hip replacement or a knee injury and they have to move slow, or whether I've got someone who's an avid CrossFitter and super athletic, it can kind of match wherever level they're at. So that's kind of, we use it for that. I call it the 4 pillars: physical, emotional, mental, and social wellness. And we accomplish those things through dance.
Now, how much of the people you teach at your dance studios are aware of your celebrity status, in a sense? You were on, what was it, season 3 of Dancing with the Stars?
It was ages ago. It was 2006.
Oh, geez, yeah, I was a baby.
Yeah, it was 2006, and no, actually, I think I'm better known in the studio as the janitor than I am as the Dancing with the Stars guy.
Okay.
I do some dancing. My brother had just come off. He had just retired. He was in the top in the nation for a while. So he kind of, they know him as the dancer. The students that have been around, we have some that have been with us for 15 years. They know. I'm pretty incognito. I'm that guy, and they're like, wow, that guy really knows how to dance.
What are popular dances that people want to learn these days? Are there certain that just kind of rise above others?
Yeah, I think the Latin stuff tends to be a bit more popular, like your salsa, your cha-cha. There's things like rumba that get you moving. People like coming in and moving and burning calories, and it's upbeat music. It's usually got that rhythm. So that's probably the most popular requests. But then once people start doing it, there's those things like in a tango where it's like, you're not going to go many places and do that socially. But it really is a lot of fun to learn the disciplines and get the muscle memory and the core strengths and the control of your body. So there's all that kind of stuff that I think once people come in for the salsa, then they start to find the other dances have a lot of personality too.
But I like your 4 pillars, and I agree with that, all of that. Like you got to have that balance between those parts of you. So that's awesome. I'm sure people love going to see you.
Well, and it kind of came like I started it as a dance instructor in 1999, and I was not a dancer. I was carpet and tile. I was a construction guy. It wasn't like I wanted to dance, but once I started doing it, the benefits it had and how it made me feel, and like just my confidence, my ability to speak and talk to strangers, the way our business works, it's really been a neat thing to figure out along the way.
So how did the world of dance instruction run through the pandemic when you're supposed to social distance and stay away from one another? How'd that go?
Sure. Yeah, so our industry, like some of the other ones, like the fitness and the gyms, we just got hit with a dead stop. It was, March 14th hit, and it was dead stop, closed, but we're a community that really tries to stay together. And something I never thought I would see done, which was virtual dance lessons and virtual dance social parties, we were doing it. Within a week of being closed, students were getting on one-on-one video sessions like this with their instructors. They were memorizing new steps and routines. They were working with their dance moves to get it to be more musical. And it was wonderful because in a time when we were all feeling so isolated and scared as it is, to not connect to people is just so damaging. The feedback has been great. And now that we're able to see the light on the other side of it and people are trickling in, they really mentioned just how much it mattered to just have that connection each week. And so that was a big pivot point for us. And we actually, from that, birthed the Fred Astaire online dance lessons, or fredastaireonline.com. And you can go on and get dance lessons on there for free, just to try them in your living room or get a head start. It's been working out really nice. So as with your company, it sparked some innovation as well.
So let's talk a little bit about the HDLGBA. Gosh, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, it sure is.
So tell us a little bit about the effect on the organization. Obviously, from a raising funds standpoint, just like your business, you had like a dead stop on that. So what have you guys done to kind of work around that?
Anything we thought 2020 was going to be, as I'm sure you know, just was not. And it was either be mad and frustrated or get busy finding a way to do things, with the new movement. So we did cancel our big fests. We don't have that going on. What we've done is we've shifted. Our funds are a little different too, because we're non-for-profit. Our funding does come through taxes, and now with that being broken up, we've had to be a little more strategic with how we use the money, and we don't make the money on the festival, so there's limited resources. What we decided to do is kind of a reopening, where last Saturday actually we had an outdoor movie, and we painted these social distancing squares, and families were invited to come out and set up their chairs and their blankets, and it was really cool to see. Without even having to tell them. I mean, we had staff on hand to guide them, because we don't want to take a risk with somebody's health. We want to make sure that people that are wearing masks, or how close they are, and we're making sure that we're sanitizing the different restrooms. And yet, we refuse to be stuck at home and living in fear too. There is a way that we can safely get out and start to interact and get some of that life back. So we had Willy Wonka play last Saturday, and we had some families come out, and it was just a really nice experience for people to kind of get out again. And now from there, we're going into the Long Grove Live concert series, where we're going to be having live music every weekend. I kind of envision like a mini Nashville, where you're leaving one space and that sound is getting faint, and then you're walking to the next one. Nothing too overpowering, but some nice life and music on every corner of town. I
know during phase 3, there was this whole pop the trunk and social distance, make sure that people were shopping at the restaurant, going to the restaurants, getting carry out into the stores. And so there was that, and that was organized by the organization.
Yeah, shop, pop, and go.
Yeah, I love that. Cute.
Yeah, just where people could plan on putting their order ahead, show right up in the designated spot, open the trunk, we drop it, close it, and they're off. So that definitely helped with some of our merchants staying through. Everybody was just in survival mode at that time, and little things like that. There was no one answer. There was no one thing that fixed it all, but all the little things together are going to see a lot of people to the other side of this thing.
Just to recap, if you'd like to visit the organization's website, it's longgrove.org. And to learn more about Jesse's businesses, Fred Astaire, please go to fredastaire.com.
Yeah, Jesse, thanks again for your time, my friend. And before we let you get out of here, because I know you're busy, we just got a few more questions for you.
All right, let's do it.
Who would your ideal celebrity dance troupe be in a high-stakes competition if you could choose any 3 celebrities?
My brother shouted out Shakira. He's in the car, and that was his first pick. I would probably be inclined to agree. She is a phenomenal dancer.
Oh, yeah.
And if I were to stay with that, I mean, does Derek Huff count as a celebrity? He does, right?
Yeah.
So he is probably one of the single most talented individuals I've ever met. Like one of those like Justin Timberlake kind of, they can do anything guys. Yeah. And let's put Justin Timberlake up there, actually. He's another one.
Justin. Like he's so cute.
That guy can just do anything you throw at him. So let's do that.
So we noticed in your online bio that you in high school tried out for the Sound of Music. So therefore you must be an expert on all things Sound of Music. So of course, it's a natural conclusion.
Sure.
So what hugely popular 1940s actress was tapped to play Maria but turned the role down?
Oh my.
Do you know?
No, I don't know that.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a good one. She was supposed to have the lead but didn't get it?
She decided she didn't want it.
She turned it down.
I can't imagine that role going to anyone else.
So the answer was Audrey Hepburn. So I don't.
Oh, wow.
It's funny because I can't really picture her that. So maybe that worked out just right.
Probably. Yeah, I think it worked out the right way.
Totally.
Anyway, Jesse, you've been so great to talk with. Really nice to get to know you and hear about your businesses and your leadership through the Downtown Association. I think they're in good hands with you at the helm. And
I'm happy to help if there's anything I can do in the future or we can do. I'm happy to do it. The better we connect, the better it is for all of us.
Absolutely. Thanks again. So everyone, thanks for watching Vicarious Vision and learning about Jesse and his businesses and his leadership at the Downtown Association in downtown Long Grove. And don't forget to check us out next time on Vicarious Vision.